Well, hello, everybody. um, I am Ann Mitchell. I'm Castle Rock Online Reading Tutor, and I have invited Jennifer here to explain how it's going with her daughter um, with online tutoring and reading. Some parents just don't think online tutoring just works. So let's find out from you how you found me and what do you think about the online tutoring bit for your daughter?
Well, I found you from a mutual friend. I was kind of explaining to her all my frustrations and troubles that I was having with my daughter as she was struggling to try and even just learn the sounds of letters.
Hmm.
And she mentioned you and your service. And I'll be honest, my first thought was, but it's online. Like, what can you really do?
Yeah, right.
But she is someone that I trust, and I thought, if she's doing it for her kids, I'm gonna give this a try,
Hmm.
and I'm glad I did. Um, she has responded really well to it. I feel like,
Hmm.
it's become her like, "Oh, is it time for my meeting yet?" Like, I have a meeting to go to, so, she loves it.
It's a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, all right. So before we met and we've gotten into our schedule of every week, what were your concerns with your daughter and moving forward to a tutor, or what do you think?
Well, the the biggest concerns that were popping up was, I have 2 older daughters, and it was very clear to me that she did not learn in the same way.
Hmm.
Um, she was having a much harder time grasping sounds of letters and then matching them up with the actual letter.
Hmm.
Um, we noticed that she just was not she couldn't focus in on it.
Hmm.
Um, she would also forget. Like, we could work on the sound of a letter for a week, and then, at the end of the week, she'd be like, I don't know what it is."
Hmm.
And you knew she was right, like, you knew she was telling the truth.
Right.
She did not know what it was, and it was just like,
Hmm.
"What is going on?" And so all the ideas were going through my mind, like, "Does she have dyslexia? And does she have this?" There was a lot. It was a lot. We had her actually, tested by our, school district, and before she started kindergarten,
Hmm.
and for kindergarten, she fell within parameters.
Mm,
But as a
yeah.
mom, I knew that something was missing,
Hmm.
and so to see her struggling and knowing I knew how she was struggling, but I didn't know what it was or how to fix it.
Right, right. And as a
So
mom, you're a homeschool mom as
exactly.
well,
Right,
and your other half was deployed at the time when we first met, and now
right.
he's home. So, um,
Yeah,
that
so
I mean,
there was a lot of, I've said it before, there was a lot of pressure
hmm.
on me. I felt, as first of all, as a homeschool mom,
Yeah,
don't screw it up. If you're don't mess up you're the one in charge, so you're the only one that can mess this up. And then to see, other family members of the same age, niece and nephew, who are in the same grade, and they're doing far more than what she
hmm,
was at, then
hmm,
there's all that kind of, like, guilt or what's wrong with my kid? And, um, I'm having to come to terms with there's nothing wrong. She just
right,
learns differently, and then
right,
finding that way to reach
yeah,
her where she's at.
yeah,
That's been our journey, is to,
yeah.
like, throw out all the other opinions or the other ideas that I have in my own mind. Well, the pressure that I'm putting on my own self
Hmm.
and finding what works for her.
Yeah, yeah. So our journey is not over yet. So what is your impression of what is going on? Do you feel comfortable with the online tutoring bit now and moving forward?
Well, like I said, I was inwardly skeptical of like what could online do, you
Mhm.
know, that well, at the time, in person wasn't even really an option.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
like, it was
and
the only
COVID.
option, but, like, what could you do? But my child went from not knowing letter sounds
Mhm,
to now she's reading full sentences.
mhm.
I'm trying not to cry. Um, that's
Yes.
that's huge. I can
Mhm,
see major progress from where we started to where we are now. It's something that I just it's immeasurable in my mind to see her confidence growing when she looks up and she can read the word on our board. We have a board right here,
mhm,
and she can read kingdom
mhm,
by herself, unprompted, and just look up and read it. I mean, that to me, that's worth its weight in gold because
mhm,
she couldn't do that a year and a half ago.
mhm.
You know, um, so I don't know what kind of magic you do. Like, it doesn't I don't always like, I don't sit back and, like, watch you do your thing, but, like, listening to it and
Mhm.
her coming in and doing, I'm like, "Whatever it is you do, it works."
Well, we haven't been together for a year and a half. It's only been a few months, but
It has not. It has been longer than that.
yeah, she's a little cutie pie
Oh my
anyway.
goodness. It feels like this has been it feels like her journey has been a very long, tedious
Mhm,
journey because it's
mhm.
well, educating your children can feel tedious, I think, at times, but for her, it really has been. So you stepping in, you're the missing piece of the puzzle, so you've obviously been here through the whole thing in my mind, you know?
Well, I know once you had mentioned that your husband had said, "Isn't she supposed to be doing a little bit better than she is now?" But I know she's made a lot of growth since we first met.
Oh
And you
gosh.
were right. I mean, she didn't know all the letters in the alphabet when we first met. And now to be reading sentences in our little books, that's her favorite part of because the part that's a little bit harder and trickier, I usually put first. And then
Mhm.
I use the reading as a she likes to do at the
Well,
end.
she
So
likes to read with you.
she does a good
And
job.
I'll tell you this right now, my husband literally last night, we were just talking about the next school week and whatnot, and he was like, "Man, she has made so much progress. I'm so impressed with how far she's come." Those were his words. He said that.
Yay.
So he's definitely even noticed
Okay.
a huge difference. Like, I keep saying it, but he's not here during the school day.
Right.
He's at
Right.
work. And he'll read, with her at night, when he's home. But,
Hmm.
he was saying just last night, he was just like, "Man, I think it's just really hit me now
Hmm.
how far she really has come. She's
Yeah.
reading really well."
Yeah.
I mean, for her, like,
Yeah.
knowing where she's at,
Right.
I'm like, "Man, she really has made a lot of progress." So I
Yeah.
said, "See?
Yeah.
See, I told you."
Well, great. I'm glad that you are happy
Okay.
and looking forward to continuing the growth.
Oh,
All
me too.
right.